Hi everybody, I'm Sunny and you're watching Sunny Preps. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit the share, the like, the subscribe, all those buttons down there. This is just a real quick video. I was actually working on something else, but something came up. Another reason to prep. It's actually my first reason all over again. If any of you watch my intro video, you'll know what I'm talking about. So I arrived at work today to this. Those outhouses, funny enough, are not usually in front of my place of work. There was a massive water main break in Pittsburgh today. You'll probably hear about it on the evening news. Roads looked like rivers. They had to bring in the swift water rescue team to evacuate people from their homes. It ran for 6 hours like that. When I first got here, there was only one, and there was a line. They had trouble procuring Johnny on the spot because so many people all over the city needed one and ordered them very suddenly. There was one available for, I am going to hazard a guess, I'm not absolutely positive, but 100 to 150 people that work in this building during the day. I could tell from the parking lot some of them had gone home, and then at night there might be even more. So yeah, it's not as simple as just calling the people to come deliver one. They had everybody in the city calling to just deliver one or two or three or four. So lots of fun. It was such a large water main that in order to stem the flow, they had to cut off the water for, I think I heard on the news, 400,000 people. It looks on the map like it's almost half of Pittsburgh. It's probably more like a third, but it's a huge area. And that includes my place of work. Now, I live outside the city, so knock on wood, my house wasn't affected that I know of. But it really was life-threatening for some people. There was a 79-year-old woman had to be carried out of her home on the down a ladder by the swiftwater rescue people. Her daughter was with her, terrified they might lose everything because the water was coming up from the basement and under the doors and then eventually in the windows, I think they said. So when you think preppers are just prepping for the end of the world or world without rule of law or end of the world as we know it, the SHTF situations, there are plenty of everyday STHF situations in your daily life. Where I work was definitely not prepared to be without water for 8 to 10 hours. I'm not sure how long it lasted. It got here. It was started way before my shift started. It is back on now, temporarily at least. Some of the instrumentation we use absolutely require water to even run. You can see how they responded to the lack of bathroom facilities. We have hand sanitizer all over the place in there, but really the best way to get your hands clean is to wash them with soap and running water while you sing the happy birthday song. And we wash our hands constantly throughout the day, but that wasn't available. We had to find other methods. So a lot of effort went in from a lot of different people in my company all over the city. Schools were canceled. I'm sure a lot of other work situations were canceled. We simply cannot do that. It's required that we get out results if it's at all possible. I work in a medical lab, and in case you haven't heard that in a previous video. And this is just another example of seemingly perfect day. It's beautiful weather. Nothing, no civil unrest, no, I think there was some kind of kids walked out of school for a climate change or something. Nothing that would seem to be poised to affect your daily life. And yet, how fast did it nearly hit the wall, literally, when the water was not running? I did not venture into the restrooms while the water wasn't running, but I was told it was not nice, because before people realized what was going on or had any other options, yeah, I'll just leave it there. So you just don't know, and that's why it is important to prep while you can. Have as many contingency plans on hand as possible. And we've got a giant generator here to keep the facility running for a long time without electricity. We don't have giant water tanks, even for the instruments. People can use the porta potty, but the instruments cannot run without water, some of them. And there was no backup. We use deionized distilled water, and the last I heard before the water came back on, our tank of that got down to 15%, and there was still time before the water came on, so I'm sure it was very close to some instrumentation just shutting down. But thankfully it came back on, water started feeding back into the system, and as far as I know, everything's good. It worked when I turned it on. But how close, how close in just a few hours were we from just shutting down? I haven't heard any reports about how hospitals are doing. I'm sure they had contingency plans, canceled anything that wasn't an emergency, but it can happen that fast. There was a river raging down the street in the middle of Pittsburgh somewhere, and it affected 400,000 people around it. So keep prepping. Don't let anybody tell you you're crazy, because there's always something that can happen. And don't forget to smile, because a rainy day is no match for a sunny disposition. And neither is a lack of water. I'll talk to you guys in the next one. If you have any comments about your personal SHTF situations that you faced completely out of the blue, leave a comment below. Thanks. Bye.